Tuned to the fastest growing television station in the country, TV47. You're watching the home of untold stories, and this is TV47 Weekend News with me, Mariam Mwacharo. Now let's take a look at some of the stories we have for you on tonight's bulletin. Private sector doctors to down their tools on Monday in solidarity with their colleagues in public hospitals if the demands of the latter are not met. Deputy President William Ruto allies new party UDA avails candidates for the various by-elections, vowing to bag victories in all of them. Education Cabinet Secretary George Magoha calls on security personnel to hunt down pregnant and lactating students and bring them back to school. And cotton farmers in Busia County have had a bumper harvest since switching to BT cotton, but they have no markets for their produce. We shall tell you why. Now we begin with doctors from the private health sector in the country have threatened to down their tools and join their colleagues from the public sector if their grievances are not resolved by Monday next week. Kenya Medical Association today held an urgent meeting with all doctors in Mombasa County following the suspension of 86 doctors in Mombasa County. A day ago, 86 doctors from Mombasa County faced the sack for engaging in a strike that lasted for only 3 days. And although the county government of Mombasa has revoked the doctors' suspension letters, the medical practitioners are not appeased. This time, they even have more backup from their colleagues in the private sector. Medics in private hospitals have vowed to join their colleagues in the public sector in pushing for their demands.
As KMA, our problem is healthcare, welfare of doctors and welfare of the population at large. We know when the government also is not working, a bigger chunk, almost 80% of the population is not getting healthcare. And that is why we decided it's most important for the groups to come and air their concerns and their feelings as a family of doctors. And I do want to concur that as doctors, both in public and private sector, this is affecting all of us, and we are in this as one family. We do believe that sense will come in, and that as we've heard so far that issues are being resolved, and the discussion on the table, that will go ahead and sort us for us.
KMPDU boss Dr. Chibanzi Mwachonda was among the 86 Mombasa doctors who had been axed on Wednesday. Dr. Mwachonda warned that the worst is yet to come if doctors' issues are not addressed by Monday and the fired doctors fully reinstated.
Mombasa, the promotions must be implemented as per that return to work formula. The doctors must be reinstated. Na hiyo ni sauti ya hawa madaktari wote mnaowaona hapa. Those are the bare minimums that will get those doctors back to work. And these conditions that come back to work, then we will reinstate. It was illegal in the first place. That matter is sub judice. It is a matter in court. The process is illegal. So if this continues, then be prepared for the worst. We as doctors of this country, all organizations, all associations, KMA, Kenya Dental Association, Pharmaceutical Society of Kenya, together with KMPDU, will come out strongly, more than this, and take action. Because the healthcare of the citizens of this country matters.
This comes after an emergency meeting between all doctors in Mombasa County and Kenya Medical Association. The meeting brought together doctors from both private and public sector. Elsewhere, the Kenya National Union of Nurses, NAN, has slammed the Council of Governors for blocking their return to work formula 33 days into their nationwide strike. Elsewhere, nurses in Machakos County have called off their strike after reaching a consensus with the county government. Zainab Muhammad with the details.
Barely days since the Kenya National Union of Nurses announced a possible white smoke from the negotiation with the government, the union has now announced that all hopes have been shattered by the Council of Governors.
Sisi tumekuwa na mwafaka na serikali zote mbili kuhusu kurudi kazini. Lakini ilipofika mahali ya kutia sahihi, ikaonekana kwamba serikali za county zikaanza kusema kwamba hazikuhusishwa katika mkataba huo.
The Nurses Union accuses COG of blocking the signing of the return to work formula, saying the government does not have the financial capability to actualize it, a matter the union says is false.
Tumegundua kwamba kuna shida kubwa baina ya serikali kuu na serikali za katuzi. Kuna kutoelewana, na sisi tunaomba rais aingilie kati ili hii mambo ya kutoelewana baina ya serikali kuu na serikali za katuzi iweze kuondoka, ili endelee bila kukwamiza kwa njia ya migomo au njia yoyote.
A similar scenario befell the clinical officers who had ended their strike on January 1st. They downed their tools again on Friday after the Council of Governors refused to sign the return to work formula, saying the demands they were making had been met by individual counties. Elsewhere, a total of 1,290 nurses in Machakos County are set to go back to work in the next 24 hours after reaching a consensus with the county government. According to them, the county government has agreed to meet all their demands.
The officials, as you can see here, we are not going back because of the threats. As I indicated earlier on, we have had consultative meetings as even today, and we have arrived at a decision because we have not received any victimization from anyone. It's out of our consultations and the goodwill that we have had with our employer.
The nurses' nationwide strike entered day 33 on Friday. Zainab Mohammed, TV47.
Another news, Education Cabinet Secretary Professor George Magoha now wants security agencies from the national government to help teachers and parents to ensuring that expectant and lactating students return to school to continue with learning. Mike Kagwongo reports.
Speaking after an inspection tour in Bungoma DEB in Bungoma County, Magoha argued that chiefs and assistant chiefs can easily get in touch with students who disappeared as well as those who are pregnant in order to return them to schools. 5 days since learning resumed at schools, a big number of students is yet to report, but Magoha is positive that the administrators will be able to track them.
Our brothers in Ngao to help us to identify the children that are missing through chiefs and sub-chiefs, and to persuade even those who are pregnant, who are feeling shy, that pregnancy is not a disease and that they should come back to school.
In regard to contractors who are contracted to make desks, Magoha said the government has released 500 million shillings to ensure that they get paid despite the delay.
We are paid well over 500 million now to artisans, and we are going to pay more. I think by Monday we should have been at 50% point. So if there are any deliveries that have been made, even in Bungoma, that have not been paid, let us make sure that the documents are in Nairobi by tomorrow, because we work on the basis of 24/7 to pay for these desks.
However, he advised school heads against sending students back home over fee arrears, saying the government has disbursed 4 billion shillings to primary schools and 14.6 billion shillings to secondary schools to facilitate free education.
For primary schools, we have just released Kenya shilling 4 billion plus. It is in your accounts. What did you do with it? Day schools are free, and they are 75% of all secondary schools in the country. And we released 14.6 billion through the intervention of His Excellency the President just the other day.
Prior touring Bungoma DEB, Magoha was at Ombaka Secondary School in Nyando, Kisumu County, where he said the government has released 10 million shillings to mitigate floods in the school, as well as in Baringo and Elgeyo Marakwet counties.
The government has provided 10 million shillings to this school, together with another one in this area, and about 2 others in Baringo area, and 1 or 2 in Elgeyo Marakwet and West Pokot, to ensure that floods are not an issue to our children.
Meanwhile, some private schools proprietors from Busia County have overwritten outstanding fee arrears as a way of lifting off the burden for the parents.
Corona ilikuja abruptly, tukaambiwa tuende nyumbani. So tumewave zile balances zenye wazazi walikuwa nazo, tumezitoa. So mzazi akikuja anaanza upya tu kulipa school fees upya ya second term.
It is now upon school heads to make certain that no student is sent home after the government has dispersed national resources to make sure that students stays in school. For TV47 from Bungoma, I'm Mike Kagwongo.
Moving on, health and education senior government officials have decried the grim reality of the impact of COVID-19 on school-going children, but assured the government was doing everything possible to minimize the negative effects. This comes after the country recorded 221 more cases, 365 recoveries from the virus, and one more person succumbed to the disease. Fatma Ngwena reports.
Speaking today during a visit to Kari Primary School in the outskirts of Kisii Town in Kisii County, Health Permanent Secretary Susan Mochache, who led the team in a round of tour of various schools, said the government was doing everything in its disposal to minimize chances of infections among the learners.
Now we don't have them.
Kari Primary School is one of the schools affected, having lost up to 4 parents to COVID-19 in less than 2 months. More than 120 pupils in the school have not reported to school since schools reopened on Monday.
4 parents in this school actually lost their lives, and we've been told that out of those, 2 of the families of where 2 of the parents passed away have not been able to come back to school.
PS Mochache noted that challenges will be minimized if schools put proper structures in place, enough water points for washing hands, and ensure the learners put on their masks at all times to minimize infections.
That there are certain things that will remain a challenge for us, being able to maintain social distancing, but we want to appreciate the schools. They are doing the very, very best that they can do.
The Health PS appreciated the efforts by schools in Kisii County in ensuring the Ministry of Health guidelines were followed despite the social distancing challenges. Kari Primary is one of the populous public primary schools in Kisii, with a population of 1,300 pupils. Fatma Ngwena, TV47.
Now, the journey to State House for Deputy President William Rutos seems to have taken shape, with his allies launching United Democratic Alliance Party, which he might use for his 2022 bid. The party, which is chaired by former Machakos Senator Johnston Muthama, has equally unveiled its suitable candidates for the various by-elections in the country. And as our political affairs reporter Elizabeth Mutuku reports, the task ahead of the newly launched party is to win in the upcoming mini polls.
UDA, kazi ni kazi, hasla.
It wasn't a question of if but when Deputy President and his army would launch their party, considering the last 2 years they have been aliens to the Jubilee Party and its headquarters, a party which they used to secure their seats in the year 2017. Their dreams seeming to become true on Friday. Over 50 MPs and senators coming together to the launch of the party, which its symbol is a wheelbarrow, a party which will be chaired by former Machakos Senator Johnston Muthama. The launch coming barely 24 hours after Registrar of Political Parties Andy Ritu okayed the name change from Party of Development and Reforms PDR to United Democratic Alliance UDA.
We don't want politics that will divide Kenyans. We want politics that will put Kenyans together. And we want the style of CCM of Tanzania that has been there putting Tanzanians together. We want an approach of ANC in South Africa that has been there putting South Africans together. We don't fear to be challenged, but we want to say that we are going to demonstrate that we have the capacity and we are in a position to unite Kenyans.
The party also unveiled its suitable candidates in the upcoming by-elections. Bishop Margaret Wanjiru will be the party's candidate in Nairobi gubernatorial race, a by-election which has been paused by the court and may never happen if Ann Kananu is approved by the county assembly as deputy governor nominee next week. Father Evans Kakai and Alex Lanya have been given the tickets to run for Kabuchai in Matungu by-election respectively.
Our justice system will prevail, and they will uphold the law. They will uphold justice on behalf of the citizens of Nairobi, and we are going to have a by-election in Nairobi.
Nataka kuambia ya kwamba mara hii nataka mujitokeze mupige kura na mimi nitachunga mahali kura yenu itaenda.
The Deputy President Brigade Mithika Linturi, Susan Kihika, Kipchumba Murkomen, Benjamin Washiali, Silvanus Osoro, Rigathi Gachagua, Kimani Ichung'wah, among others, expressing their confidence in their newfound home.
Sasa tumefika hapa kuona kama hii nyumba tunaweza kuwa adopted kulingana na vile mnavyopanga maneno yenu kuendelea mbele.
Wale mnatuuliza maswali mingi, jiulizeni kwanza kwa nini nyinyi mnashikana chama cha ODM. Na kama kuna maswali ya kufanya disciplinary action, tuanzie wale wameenda kuchingana na chama cha opposition.
This is the kind of a party that we want to build. A party that transcends regions, tribes, economic status, a party that is available and open and accessible to every Kenyan, a party whose policies will be to make sure that we do not leave any Kenyan behind.
Tulizaa kwa kiota ya watu wengine. Saa hii umetusaidia. Watoto wote tutazaa watakuwa kwa kiota yetu ya UDA.
Nilikuja kutafuta asylum hapa. Kufika hapa nimepata ni nyumba ya maana sana.
Well done.
Nyumba ambayo inasema ni kazi ni kazi. Inatambua mtu wa bodaboda, inatambua mtu wa kuendesha matatu, inatambua yule mkubwa na inatambua yule mdogo.
Deputy President William Ruto allies having launched their new party UDA. Now it's just a matter of wait and see whether they win or the by-elections as promised. Elizabeth Mutuku, TV47 UDA headquarters, Nairobi.
Now that story from Elizabeth Mutuku brings us to a fast short break, but do not go too far. We'll be back with more news, including sports.
You are watching TV47, the home of untold stories.
Equity Group, the first batch of PPEs has been distributed to all the counties. They really feel that support from Equity because they didn't know where the protective gear will come. They are really appreciative about it.
Equity. Bega kwa bega.
The Nyali Golf View is situated along Links Road, Nyali, near the Mamba roundabout. Accommodation at the Nyali Golf View ranges from luxurious, air-conditioned, self-catering, elegantly designed 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom, 1-bedroom, and a presidential suite. The apartments are ideal for families and business people. Be it a holiday or a business conference, Nyali Golf View Residence is the right place for you. All rooms reflect exquisite and high-standard decor and cozy ambience that will enhance your stay. Nyali Golf View Residence also offers a fully equipped gym, the real infinity pool, laundry services, valet parking space, and a play area for your children. The Nyali Golf View Residence delivers the best all-round hospitality. At the Nyali Golf View, you have room to think, room to play, room to recharge, room to walk tall, and room to unwind and dream, because it's not a room, it's a residence. For booking and reservation, contact us on 0757 298 272 or email us at nyaligolfview@gmail.com or visit our website at www.nyaligolfview.com.
What's the perfect way to kickstart your day in the morning? Well, apart from having a healthy breakfast, the Morning Cafe is all you need. We will inform you on what's happening on the roads, dive deeper into the newspapers, alongside heated political debates.
Examples. Yes, we are using examples. Is America here to defend itself?
Did you know that your greatest wealth is health? We get down into farming, the home of untold stories.
Well, thank you for staying tuned. Remember, you can tune in on these news on our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter is at TV47 Kenya. Should you please to send us an SMS, our SMS line is 22047. Now, Deputy President William Ruto has yet again called for inclusivity amid raging BBI debate that has continued to polarize the country. Ruto, who was speaking in his Uasin Gishu backyard during the burial of former Councillor Elijah Maina, has also urged Kenyans and leaders to shun from sowing seeds of divisiveness in the country owing to BBI. This as handshake and UDA party politics also took center stage during the send-off ceremony. David Mudhoka with the reports.
It is the final journey of former Councillor Elijah Maina, where Deputy President William Ruto reiterated the need for inclusivity as the country readies for the BBI referendum.
Kwa niaba ya makanisa yetu ya Sirikwa West Region,
Ruto, who was addressing mourners at his Uasin Gishu backyard, also urged fellow leaders and Kenyans to learn from previous mistakes and shun from divisive BBI politics.
Tusifike mahali tukaanza kulaumiana. Tunataka tutembee pamoja. Mimi nataka niwaulize kwa unyenyekevu ya kwamba tutembee hii barabara pamoja. Nawauliza viongozi wote, tutafute vile tunaweza kufanya kazi pamoja. Tusigombane kwa mambo madogo madogo.
Ruto, who also called for a quicker solution towards the achievement of an inclusive BBI, said it is the high time that the country addresses the BBI debate once and for all and bring to an end the vicious BBI cycle that has gripped the nation.
Na mimi nataka niwaulize sisi wote tukiwa wa Kenya, hasa sisi tuliopatiwa nafasi ya kuongoza, hata ingawaje tulitembelewa na marafiki zetu wakasema tujaribu kwanza mambo ya uwiano na mambo hiyo ya BBI. Sasa lazima pia tukubali ya kwamba sisi wote tunatembea safari hii.
But Ruto's allies, who had accompanied the second in command in Uasin Gishu, refused to dance to the BBI reggae tune. The leaders poking holes at the BBI report for discriminating a section of Kenyans to the benefit of others.
And we want to tell those who have been bullying us, sasa wateremushe ile makasiriko, wateremushe ile madharau, wajipange kwa mashindano.
The handshake between President Uhuru Kenyatta and ODM party leader Raila Odinga would also take center stage, with Kapseret legislator Oscar Sudi in a bare-knuckle attack at the 2018 handshake, casting doubt on its genuinity.
Naona hata Uhuru aliama akaenda ODM, sisi tunakuomba hata we deputy kama uami utusaidie kwa UDA.
The leaders also drummed up support for the newly founded UDA party, saying it seeks to cure the ills of the previous regimes.
Na leo hii chama ya UDA vile imezunduliwa siku ya leo, hata ndege wa angani wameanza kuimba na wimbo tofauti, kwa sababu wako na matumaini ya kwamba wanadamu wakikuwa na mali, wakikuwa na chakula, hata wao pia watapata kitu cha kukula.
Meanwhile, a survey by polling firm TIFA showed that 32% of Kenyans will vote no to shoot down BBI, while only 29% of registered voters would vote yes in favor of BBI if the BBI referendum was to be held today. Additionally, according to the survey, 84% of Kenyans are not familiar with BBI contents and proposals 2 months after the document was historically launched, while 44% of Kenyans would want a referendum before 2022. The survey, which was conducted between December 9th and 18th last year, polled 1,550 Kenyans and comes barely days after a controversial letter by Murang'a Senator Irungu Kang'ata to the president detailing how BBI was seemingly unpopular in the Mount Kenya region surfaced. This as the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission IEBC on Friday stated that the BBI signatures verification process, which kicked off on 31st December last year, is right on track, with over 544,000 signatures having been verified so far. The BBI Constitution Amendment Bill 2020 is required to meet the 1 million signatures threshold for it to sail through to the county assemblies for ratification. David Mudhoka, TV47.
Elsewhere, the Council of Governors chairperson, Governor Wycliffe Oparanya, has declared that he will go for the top seat in 2022. The Kakamega governor said he has achieved a lot during his tenure as Kakamega governor, and it is now time to play in the top league. Listen in.
So hii Kakamega ni kaunti kubwa, na tukiwa kaunti kubwa hatuwezi kuwa tu tunangojea wengine kutoka Bungoma, wengine kutoka Vihiga, wengine kutoka Busia kuja hapa kuongea mambo yetu, na sisi tumekaa kimya. Wakati huu nimekataa, nimesema mambo ya Kakamega paka iwe mbele na mtu wa Kakamega, na mimi hapo nitakuwa hapo. Nimeambia Wetangula na Musalia mambo ya kusemanga sisi viongozi wawili, hapana. Oparanya sasa yuko hapa. Mpende msipe, nimechukua hatua. Hata kama mpira unaambia kwa timu rombo, si ndio? Then unaenda ile ya junior, then unaenda ile senior. Sasa mimi niko kwa senior team, nimetoka kwa ile vitu ya juu. Ile ya senior team kitu nafanya natafuta na namba, si ndio? Lakini tayari niko ha.
Now, despite getting relief over the quality of their produce, BT cotton farmers in Busia County have expressed their fears over limited markets for their produce. BT cotton, according to the farmers, is easier to cultivate and take care of compared to the hybrid cotton.
These farmers are reaping what they sow, with most of them harvesting their first ever BT cotton after ditching the hybrid variety. What delights these farmers from Teso South, Matayos and Funyula constituencies in Busia County is the ease of taking care of the plant until maturity, most of them harvesting double what they used to get in the past.
Tofauti ile nimeona ni kwamba BT ina mazao mazuri na haina wadudu. Ikipasuka inapasuka pamba nyeupe kabisa. Hybrid ina equally same futures, lakini kidogo ina wadudu.
But identifying markets where they could sell their produce is giving them sleepless nights. This occasioned by inadequate cotton market in the area. The farmers asking the Busia County government to come to their aid and reopen the defunct Mulwanda cotton factory.
Pamba si kama chakula ingine. Ile chakula ingine kama wibi, kama maidi, ikikosa soko naweza kula. Lakini sasa pamba kama hakuna soko inakuja inafanya mkulima afifie.
Tumekuwa tunajiuliza hii soko tutaipata kwa njia gani? Kwa sababu mara mingi huwa naona watu ambao wanaitwa hawa brokers, tunawauzia hao pamba. Tunapata sasa tumefanya kazi mingi kwa hii kilimo, na wakati tunawauzia obvious watatupatia kwa ile bei ya chini.
However, Busia County Agricultural Director Samson Hashina has assured cotton farmers that the county government has identified 2 factories that will process their produce and reduce cases of farmers being conned by brokers.
Kuna mkataba ambao tumeingia na kampuni zenyewe. Hizo kampuni mbili ambazo zinanunua hiyo cotton. Kwa hivyo upande wa watu ambao watakuja kutapeli wakulima wetu, nafikiri tumefunga hapo.
Cotton farmers lose millions of shillings to rogue middlemen who promise the markets for their produce. Musa Salah, TV47.
Moving on, Nyandarua MCAs have today evening impeached the County Assembly Speaker Ndegwa Wahome. This is despite a court ruling by Nakuru High Court Judge Justice Joel Ngugi that gave the Speaker 7 days to respond to the allegations that he is being accused of. Wahome had moved to the courts to seek orders to bar the Assembly from impeaching him, arguing that they had not followed the right procedure in a motion moved by the Leader of Majority, Edinald Kingori. 30 MCAs voted in support of the motion. 1 abstained, while 8 members were absent. The Speaker, who is also the chairman of County Assembly's Forum, is being accused of gross misconduct, abuse of office, nepotism in hiring of staff, among other ills.
Ndege Wahome akiwa ndiye kiongozi ambaye anasimamia one arm of governance katika county governance of Nyandarua. Yeye mwenyewe hana discipline. Anatumia hiyo ofisi yake vibaya sana. Hata abuse ama kukejeri wafanyakazi, na mmoja wapo tumeweka katika account ni kuwa Minister for Health kuna wakati mmoja alimuita witch doctor without elaborating further. Hiyo ingine account ni incompetence. Ndege Wahome katika bunge ya Nyandarua hasimamii kama msimamizi mkuu, na ambaye aonyesha kwamba hakuna upande wowote ambapo anapendelea. Ndipo hawa wenzangu hapa wamesema ya kwamba leo wapige kura na wamuondoe, na tumefanya hivyo, na kama nimesema hapo bereni, zaidi ya kura 30 zimepigwa na 30 zimesema aende nyumbani.
So today, like we've said, we want an impartial speaker, and going forward we're going to have an election of a speaker, and maybe before that we shall have an acting speaker among ourselves, and I'm sure in the due time, maybe before Monday or Tuesday, we shall be able to announce who will be the acting speaker based on how the members will vote or how the members will feel who is supposed to lead them. So going forward, we don't want anybody who has political affiliations to be our speaker.
Now let's take a short breather, but do not go too far. We'll be back with more news, including sports. Don't touch that dial.
You are watching TV 47, the home of untold stories. At Trisent School of Medical Health, Science and Technology, we offer highly competitive courses. What's the perfect way to kickstart your day in the morning? Well, apart from having a healthy breakfast, the morning cafe is all you need. We will inform you on what's happening on the roads, dive deeper into the newspapers, alongside heated political debates.
Using examples. Yes, we are using examples. Is America here to defend itself?
Did you know that your greatest wealth is health? We get down into farming, education matters, business and innovation. And yes, we cannot forget family matters.
These people want encouragement.
With some good Friday vibes.
When the deal is done.
The Morning Cafe with Linda Alela, Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Only on TV 47. What's the perfect way to kickstart your day in the morning? Well, apart from having a healthy breakfast, the Morning Cafe is all you need. We will inform you on what's happening on the roads, dive deeper into the newspapers, alongside heated political debates.
Using examples. Yes, we are using examples. Is America here to defend itself?
Did you know that your greatest wealth is health? We get down into farming, education matters, business and innovation. And yes, we cannot forget family matters.
These people want encouragement.
With some good Friday vibes.
When the deal is done.
The Morning Cafe with Linda Alela, Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Only on TV 47. What's the perfect way to kickstart your day in the morning? Well, apart from having a healthy breakfast, the Morning Cafe is all you need. We will inform you on what's happening on the roads, dive deeper into the newspapers, alongside heated political debates.
Using examples. Yes, we are using examples. Is America here to defend itself?
Did you know that your greatest wealth is health? We get down in
Well, thank you for choosing to stay with us. Remember, you can join in the discussion on our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter is at TV47 Kenya. Log on to our website on www.tv47.co.ke. Welcome back. Now, Nakuru County Governor Lee Kinyanjui has challenged leaders to make decisions that will benefit generations to come instead of tending to their selfish interests. Speaking during the burial of Nakuru businessman Joseph Kang'ethe, Kinyanjui, the governors said that the construction of an airport in the county and the upgrading of the Nakuru town into a city will improve development in the region.
That many a times when we are in positions of leadership, be they as the MCA, the MP, or whichever position, a lot of our decisions are informed by the next election, not the next generation. And for as long as leaders make choices and decisions just based on the next election, they just want to be re-elected, be in government, have big cars, but the problems will never be solved. And again, about 2 weeks ago, we commenced the construction of the airport. And once complete again, this will be a major transformation for our area. Lastly, we are working on elevation of Nakuru into a city status to become Kenya's 4th city. Again, with this announcement, I want to assure you the calls and interest I have received from people both within the country and outside saying they want to invest in Nakuru just because of that is overwhelming.
On other news, transporters in Eldoret have decried mistreatment by Kenha officials on grounds they say are flimsy and meant to extort money from them. The over 50 transporters pitched tent at the Kenha offices for the better part of today to protest the alleged mistreatment for carrying excess goods. According to the transporters, they have been facing difficulties for the last 1 week in transporting their commodities to various parts through the North Rift region counties.
The furious transporters say private entities clear them of any excess cargo before embarking on their journey, but once they meet mobile Kenha officials at weighbridges, they are accused of overloading, forcing them to bribe their way out.
Lori zote zimeambiwa ziko na excess. Lori yangu jana imeshikwa, nimeambiwa niko na excess ya 1 ton na niko na weighbridge ticket ambayo nilipima pali private na nikionyesha wananiambia ati gari yangu iko na excess. Sasa tunataka kusema hivi. Sisi kama transporters wametugandamiza sana.
This, they say, subjects them to losses as they struggle to remit loans to lenders amid a harsh business environment due to the effects of COVID-19.
Sisi kama transporters wametugandamiza sana na wanatuandikia tuende kotini, na wakisema tuende kotini wanajivuruta sana kupeleka gari kotini. Ina take 4 days. Kama hiyo gari ambayo unaona ya yellow ya Tatani ya Kware imekuwa hapa for the last 1 week.
Nimetoka Kitale, nimepima mahindi kwa weighbridge. Then nimeshapima mahindi kwa weighbridge, nimekuja nimepatikana na hiyo mobile weighbridge. Wamekuja wametupima. Na mkubwa wangu ameniambia tutoe gari, aliweke mafuta tuende mpaka Webuya ama tuende mpaka Gilgil. Tupime hii gari na anajitolea mafuta. Bado hao wanafanya nini? Wanatuzungusha. Huku wanapiga simu, akipigia mkubwa anataka ongo. Sasa hiyo ongo tutatoa mpaka siku gani? Tunauliza kabisa. Tutatoa mpaka siku gani?
They want stern action taken against officers taking bribes, failure to which they will stage demonstrations along major highways until their cry is heard and acted upon.
Gearbox sasa inapiga kelele. Sasa hiyo tena ni majukumu mengine zaidi ambayo unalazimishwa wanakuja kuingilia kazi ambayo si hiyo, kwa sababu they use a lot of force.
So sisi tuko na complain, tunataka hiyo team, kwa sababu tumeona hiyo team yote ni team ya watu wageni. Kwa nini wasifanye kazi yao na competency, waweze kufanya na waweze kusikiliza pia transporter ili tuweze kufanya kazi pamoja. Lakini mambo ya kudhulumu watu, ile pesa ambayo walikuwa wanachukua kwa barabara, sasa hakuna mtu anabeba excess, na hiyo pesa yenye tulikuwa tunawapea kwa barabara ndio inaleta shida.
Calvin Chitwa, TV47, Uasin Gishu County.
Now, a distressed family from Mwingi, Kitui County is now appealing to the national government to assist them trace and retrieve the body of their kin from the crocodile-infested River Tana. The body of Kennedy Muthumi Mwende, a Garissa-based border operator who went missing 7 days ago, was allegedly sighted floating on the riverbanks by residents of Mororo 2 days ago. Their efforts to retrieve the body were in vain, even after the Kenya's Red Cross provided the divers with boats. Joan Maina has this and more briefs from the counties.
A family from Kitui County is appealing to the government to assist them with specialized divers and other agencies to help in tracing and retrieving the body of Kennedy Muthumi, a boda rider based in Garissa County. According to eyewitnesses' accounts, a crocodile was spotted trying to push the body from the river to the banks 2 days ago.
Kufikia siku ya date 2 venye tulisikia mwili wa Ken umepatikana bridge kwa maji. Tulipokuja ni kweli tulipata mwili lakini ukawa bado unatembea. Kwa safari tulianza tukachukua watu wa Red Cross. Mwili wa Ken ulitembea kwa maji na venye tuliuliza kila mahali yote tulipitia ni kwamba mwili ulionekana.
Kennedy's motorbike was found in Modika area, some 10 kilometers from Garissa town, raising suspicion that he may have been killed and his body dumped in the river.
Tunaomba serikali iingilie hili jambo. Tumemtafuta sisi wenyewe kama relatives na tumemkosa.
In Murang'a County, business owners from the town have lauded the county government for revamping roads and streets connecting to various areas and estates within Murang'a, with the development aiming at boosting businesses and revenue generation.
Kwa wakati nimekuwa hapa kwa hii biashara, hii barabara imekuwa ikiharibika sana wakati wa mvua. Na sisi tuna depend sana na the customers wenye wanapitia kwa hii njia. Kwa hivyo wakati barabara imeharibika watu hawatumii njia sana.
Murang'a Municipality Board has been undertaking projects aimed at improving transport, garbage collection and upgrading the streets and matatu station within the town. More than 100 rural health facilities in Siaya will benefit from a multi-million shilling solar energy project that aims at enabling them to automate medical records. The project, funded by Center of Health Solution, will benefit 119 facilities within 6 constituencies across the county. The 23 million shilling project will see installation of solar power to health facilities that are off the national grid and those that experience frequent outages. It will also help the county on COVID-19 vaccine storage, hence contributing to a wider immunization coverage.
From what has been shared with us, these vaccines will require to be stored in extremely cold conditions. We know where we are is the opposite of that because we are in the tropicals and you can see even the scorching sun that we are standing in.
Joan Maina, TV 47.
Now, communities bordering Lewa Wildlife Conservancy have benefited from digital literacy for years. The Conservancy has equipped 23 schools with devices to enable technology-based learning. Also, pupils and students are taught conservation lessons. We focused our story on Lewa Downs Primary School here. The school has a library not only for the pupils but also for students in the community who are institutions of higher learning.
The great purpose of Lewa is conservation, and when we have supporting conservation around the community, the best way we've seen to do that is educating the immediate communities so as they understand also how much conservation can be of benefit to them and as well make them access alternative sources of income from the old ones that were overgrazing and other practices that were not supporting conservation. And for this purpose, also the community helps us as, Lewa has a fight against poaching. And actually the community acts as our first defense outside here. So by supporting them, we have a mutual benefit as a community and as animals in Lewa as well. such that we thrive together through the benefit of education as one of the community support projects. We have over time built an ICT infrastructure that is very easy to use for the teachers. It's just a walk-in, login, plug and play items in the classroom, and also for the students. So the next measure of effectiveness is like how robust are these devices that we use in the classroom, because if you see the setup of our classrooms, it's in a remote, dusty area, and we have to build infrastructure that can run in such environments. Actually, this community is made up of several students who have come through this school, who are alumni of this school. And since the school is running over years, now there is a lot of its products in the community. And some are in universities, others are in colleges, in different institutions, and others also in high schools in different regions. And this library, especially now that we have COVID, is serving as a point where they can have the comfort of, not just the comfort of learning, but accessing a book that they would have access to in their schools, do their research.
We teach our learners how to manage the environment. We have been doing empty tree planting for the period of 5 years. Leo has assisted us with other stakeholders, like in Garandari Forest. They have helped us plant so many trees. In fact, for the last 2 to 3 years, we have been able to plant over 1,000 trees.
The relationship between Lewa and the school is that this is just one of the Lewa supporting schools. We have 23 schools that we support. We have 19 primary schools and we have 4 secondary schools with a total around 8,000 students in all the 23 schools. And what we have is that we come in partnership with the government schools to make sure that whatever structures the government has set in place to make sure that there is quality education in schools, we help the schools implement. Where there is a lack of resources, we supplement. Where there is a need for a capacity, we help build.
We have candidates who have done very well. However, not everybody does well in the school because of the community where the children come from. Most of the members of the community are, the community is cosmopolitan with Maasais, Turkanas, Boranas, and Merians and Kikuyus. And most of the members of the community, they believe in pastoralism. So we have a serious problem of chronic absenteeism. You have seen learners who will finish even 3 months without reporting to school. So this one remains one of the challenges, but we are doing our best, and the results have been improving from year to year.
Now from County 001 in our Mombasa studios, we now cross back to our Nairobi headquarters where Dennis Otieno awaits with the sports news. Dennis, I hope you had a lovely day. What's new in the